Alright guys, welcome back here. So we talked about numbers, we talked about booleans, and now I want to talk about strings here. We kind of talked about that a little bit before in the last video here, but let's go and make a new file here. Let's talk about strings.py, okay? And you'll see we have different tabs open here, and this is very similar to Chrome or like a Firefox here. We have different tabs open for the different web pages, but now right now they're just scripts instead, okay? So strings here. First off, let's make a string here. So we're going to give it a name here. Let's call it string1 here, and let's set this equal to something like hello world, okay? And I'm going to hit enter. The white dot indicates that's not saved yet, so I'm going to go ahead and save this here. By the way, I should mention here, I can call my variable right here whatever I want. This is the name of the variable here, and this is the value from there, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll do something like, let's go ahead and print out the string. Save, and we're going to type in Python. Actually, let's go up here, and let's remove all of this here, and let's type in strings. And then we run, we get this string being printed out right there, right? So it holds the value of this, and it's printing out right from there. Let's do another one here. We can say something like name, and then you could put your name in there, okay? I'm just going to put my name. Of course, you could put whatever you really want in there, but we can also concatenate strings together here. We can kind of add these together. Why don't we modify this a little bit? We'll do like a comma, space, and we'll do something like string1 plus name. And we're going to go ahead and save this here, and I can run this here, and now I can add these two strings together to get a different message from there. So if a user logs in here, I could store the username in a variable like that, okay? Now strings also have methods here. So what I could do is I could say something like print, and I could say name, if I could type, name.upper, followed by parentheses from there. Now these parentheses indicate a method, and we'll talk more about methods later on here, but right now here, just kind of type it out here. So we have these parentheses here, and we have these parentheses right there, okay? So name.upper, what do you think is going to happen here? If I save this here, and I go ahead and run this here, you can see it turns a string to all uppercase from there, okay? Now, this doesn't change the variable itself. If I go ahead and print out the name again, print name, and I save this here, you'll see that the variable still retains its original value. If you remember what we did with strings here, and I'm sorry, not strings, with numbers here, we kind of reassigned it like, did I keep it here? We reassigned the number. I think where'd it go? That's okay. I think I typed it out twice, but I got rid of the one here. We had to kind of reassign it here. So what do I mean by that here? If I wanted to keep the name uppercase here, I could say something like name equals name.upper, like that. Save. Whoops, not up, but upper. Cool. And I run this again here. So now it's going to change the original variable from there. So hopefully that makes some sense here. I could also lowercase it, right? So I could say something like, name equals name.lower. Save, and now the whole name is going to be lowercase from there. So I can modify the string if I wanted to. So if I want to capitalize, like right now, this name right here is all lowercase here. If I want to capitalize the first letter, right, I want to capitalize it. There's another built-in method from here. I can say something like name equals name.capitalize. All right, and if I run this again here, now the first letter is going to be capitalized. I have to save this here. Try it once more. Always helps if you spell things correctly. Save, and cool. So now we can see it capitalizes the first letter of that name from there. Okay. Now what I can also do is, let's say I have a really long string here. I can also get the length of that string, right? So I could say something like print, and we have that string1 up above here. I can say something like print, and I'm going to say length. Actually, just len followed by parentheses here. I'm going to pass in the string1 from above here. So what this is doing here, I'm going to give myself a little bit of space here so you guys can read this a little better here. I'm taking this length function here, and I'm passing in. I'm saying, hey, I want to get the length of this string right there, and I'm printing it out to the console there, okay? Let's try it out. Let's go ahead and run this here. It's now I get 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can get the length of strings too. Now what I can do is, and this seems a little weird right now, but the more you work with the stuff here, the more stuff like this comes in handy, right? Now what I can also do from here is I can also, and this is going to get more into when we get into lists and arrays and stuff like that here, I can also access different elements of a string here. So I can say something like print, I can say string1, and in square brackets here, right, to the right of the P on the keyboard here, I could say something like position 2. And what this is going to do, this is going to count up position 2. It's going to print that character 2 right here, okay? If I run this again here, I get, that's actually, looks like a 1 here, but that's actually an L. And you might be saying, hey, position 2 shouldn't be an E. Well, technically with arrays and in computer science, it starts at 0 here. So it'd say 0, 1, 2, and then it should be, well, 0 would be the H, 1 would be the E, and then 2 would be the L, right? And if I put 0 here, oops, 0, and I run this back here, we can see it now. We get the H from there, okay? So another thing you could do here is let's go ahead and write out a statement. And you might see this a little bit more here. You might see something like, instead of using double quotes here, you might see single quotes, okay? So if I use single quotes here, I can say something like, I don't know, he ran to the store, It's all well and good, right? Nothing's too new here except that we're using single quotes instead of double quotes. So you might be asking yourself, what's the point of this? Why would I bring this up? Well, first off here, if you see somebody using double quotes and somebody using single quotes here, that's completely okay, right? That's not, some people just have a preference of using it one way or the other here. All right, now do keep in mind here, I can leverage double quotes and single quotes here to kind of help me with sentences from here. So I'm going to change this back to double quotes here, but if I try something like he ran to the store and then he shouted, hey, hurry up. You can see that this doesn't work here because this double quote is breaking out of my string from here. So what I could use here is I could use single quotes from here, single quote, and that's doubling up on me because it thinks I'm going from left to right here. But I can use a single quote within this string here to not break out of it, right? If I save this from here and I print out the statement, print statement, save, and I run this fast, or excuse me, I run this again here, you can see that this still works. Hey, hurry up. There we go. Fix up my sentence there a little bit. All right, so now this still works from here. Another thing you might see here with single quotes and double quotes here is what we call an escape character here. So if the statement was like, let's go to the movies. There we go here. We can see that the let's right there is breaking out of my string from there. So what I could use additionally here is something we call an escape character here, which is basically just a backslash. If I hold shift and the key above my enter, excuse me, not holding shift here, the key above the enter key on my keyboard here, it's telling the compiler, hey, ignore this right here. Keep it as part of the string. Save it. And I run again here. We say, hey, let's go to the movies here. And it's keeping it as part of the string here. It's not thinking that it's part of the string right there, if that makes sense. I should say the quotes of the string. All right. What else do I have for you guys here? I'm throwing you guys a lot here. I could also multiply with a string if I wanted to. Just like you saw multiplying with numbers here, I could also say statement times 5. And if I multiply 5 times here, I get this printed out 5 times, right? And I think that the PowerShell is limited just to one spot from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, no, I think we're good here. Let's try 50. Not 550. Save. 50. Run it back here. Yep, I get 50 right there. All right, so you could also multiply a statement if you wanted to here. What else do I have for you guys here? So I think this is going to be it for this video from here. The main takeaway here is another variable type is strings here, and this holds some type of text value from here. I can apply methods to this string from here to modify how the string looks here. And then if I wanted to here, I could use single quotes or double quotes to help me manipulate the string here. This way I don't break out at the wrong time here. And then of course, very similar to numbers here, I could also multiply the statement here, and I can manipulate in different ways from there, okay? Guys, great job in this video. I think that's going to be it for this video. You guys did great, and I will see you guys in the next one.